Generally regarded to be the wealthiest man who's ever occupied the White House.
I hope so.
How much wealthier are you now than when you returned to the White House?
Well, I don't know. The deals I made, for the most part, other than what my kids are doing, they're running my business. But most of the deals that I've made were made before. And that's what I've done for a life. I built buildings. Like I'm building a building here. You know where I'm building? You know what? You see that area?
Yeah.
That is going to be the greatest ballroom anywhere in the world. And so it gives me pleasure to do it for the country. And I'm paying for it. I'm paying for it. The country's not, and that's an expensive ballroom.
But is it appropriate, President Trump, that a president in office should be engaged in so much business activity?
Well, I'm really not. My kids are running the business.
But
I'm here.
you are also-
You know what the activity, where are you from?
I'm from the Australian Broadcasting Corporation,
okay.
Four Corners
Well,
program.
the Australians, you're hurting Australia, right? In my opinion, you are hurting Australia very much right now. And they want to get along with me. Your leader is coming over to see me very soon. I'm going to tell him about you. You set a very bad tone.
Well,
Go ahead, John.
Trump, when the UAE does a deal like
You can
that,
set a
when
nicer
the
tone.
UAE does what in return?
Quiet. Where are you from?
I'm from the Australian UAE does a deal. What does it want in return?
Quiet. Very much right now. And they want to get along with me.
Some auto executives are concerned that compromising the 15% for auto tariffs coming in hurts American automakers. What do you say to
Well, I haven't compromised anything. Where did I compromise?
going down to 15% from 25%?
Going down to 15%. We charge well. And where did the 25 come from? It came from there. Just so you know.
Some auto
They paid
executives-
nothing for years. Now they're paying 15%. And some things can pay more, like chips could pay more. Pharmaceuticals could pay more. There's a bigger margin. With a car, you have to make 15% before you make a profit. Pretty tough. Japan is paying us $650 billion. These are countries that paid us nothing until I came along. Come from? It came from there. Mr. President, you tell
Mr. President, some or the auto
Just so you
executives-
know.
And what do you make Pam Bondi saying she's going to go after hate speech? A lot of your allies say hate speech is free speech.
We'd probably go after people like you because you treat me so unfairly. It's hate. You have a lot of hate in your heart. Maybe
That'd
they'll
be
come after
appropriate.
ABC. Well, ABC paid me $16 million recently for a form of hate speech, right? Maybe they'll have to go after you. Look, we want everything to be fair. It hasn't been fair. And the radical left has done tremendous damage to the country, but we're fixing it. It's not my signature, and it's not the way I speak. And anybody that's covered me for a long time.
Other than Charlie Kirk.
Going at it. And you
Your FBI is investigating the potential role of left-wing organizations in the assassination
it
of...
seems that he became radicalized on the internet. But a smart guy, great boards, great marks, great student, and then something happened to him over a fairly short period of time, and it's radicalized on the left. He's a left. A lot of problems with the left, and they get protected, and they shouldn't be protected.
The problem we have is on the left. And when you look at the agitators, you look at the scum that speaks so badly of our country, the American flag burnings all over the place, that's the left, that's not the right. We'll see. We'll be announcing. They're already under investigation. A lot of the people that you would traditionally say are on the left, already under investigation.
Claim that you have a suspect in a serious assassination. Whoops. Sir, you don't tell me my time is over. The people on Jersey cannot take responsibility
time.
for what
You
you
had
have
your
said.
time.
Sir, you're
Your
making
time
a
is
mockery of this
over.
committee.
The most partisan FBI director ever. Director Patel came to the FBI with a political mission. Director Patel has installed MAGA loyalists as political appointees in key career positions.
If you want to criticize my 16 years of service, please bring it on.
I don't think you're fit to hand the bureau, but here's the thing, Mr. Patel. I think you're not going to be around long. He will cut you loose. This may be the last time I have a hearing with you because I don't think you're long for your job.
That rant of false information does not bring this country together. If you want to work on bringing this country, it's my time, not yours.
My God.
If you want to talk about
dividing this country,
it is my
I follow
time.
you on your social media posts that
It is
tears
my
this country
time
apart.
to address
There should be a
your
unifying.
falsehoods.
Oh,
You are an
you can try
embarrassment
all
to the
you
division
want
in this country.
to not take
It is my
responsibility
time.
for what
You
you
had
have
your
said.
time.
You're
Your
making
time
a
is
mockery of this
over.
committee. Sir, you don't tell me my time is over.
You
The
know how
people
far
of New
we've
Jersey
come
tell me
since
what
you
my
tell-
time is. You can't lecture me.
You can tell me
Sir,
my time's over.
You may be the charge of the
I'm
FBI,
not going anywhere.
but I am not afraid of you, sir.
Mr. Chair.
You can step up and defend your oath, defend the Constitution. You swear to release the Epstein files, but now you're withholding the Epstein files. You claim that you have a suspect in a serious assassination. Whoops, then you don't have a suspect.
What I am doing is protecting this country, providing historic reform, and combating the weaponization of intelligence by the likes of you. And we have countlessly proven you to be a liar in Russiagate, in January 6th. You are the biggest fraud to ever sit in the United States Senate. You are a disgrace to this institution and an utter coward.
Mr. Patel was so anxious to take credit for finding Mr. Kirk's assassin that he violated one of the basics of effective law enforcement. At critical stages of an investigation,
Could I have been more careful in my verbiage and included an A subject instead of subject? Sure, in the heat of the moment, but I was doing the best I could.
You know, I don't quite get that, because if we have our man, that would suggest to the public that everybody can rest and relax. So that was a mistake.
I don't see it as a mistake. I see it as something working with the public to identify that there was a subject
So if
in
you put out
custody.
And Cash, take a look at what he did with respect to this horrible person that he just captured. He did it in 2 days. It took other similar cases 4 days, 5 days, 4 years, if you look at certain shooters. Now, I have confidence in everybody in the administration. It come from. It came from there. Mr. President, you tell me.
Free speech.
You know, you can call that free speech or not. He was fired for lack of talent. Well, Jimikimell was fired because he had bad ratings more than anything else, and he said a horrible thing about a great gentleman known as 찰리커크. Jimikimell is not a talented person. He had very bad ratings, and they should have fired him a long time ago.
All they do is hit Trump. That's all they do. All they do is hit Trump. They're licensed. They're not allowed to do that. They're an arm of the Democrat Party.
We were just about to walk in. They waited to pull the plug on this right as the studio audience was about to walk in.
Because I was very excited to watch the show, but there was no explanation at all. They just came out, they told us, we're really sorry guys, sorry for the inconvenience. I'm just gonna have to ask everyone to leave, and there was no explanation.
It feels like shows like yours, shows like...
We're going to change, and there's nothing anybody is ever going to be able to do about that.
But it takes more courage now than...
I think this is a great for, if you're looking, people have been asking if they're going to be in any trouble this year.
The MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
This one is 4 inches longer than the other car.
To confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of...
Mr. President, my condolences to you, sir. My condolences on the loss of your friend Charlie Kirk. May I ask, sir, personally, how are you holding up over the last day and a half, sir?
I think very good. And by the way, right there, you see all the trucks. They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House.
This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish.
And the country that he loves so much.
Leads to all the hostages being released. It leads to Hamas being...
Hypocrisy of these fascists. And for this, he is being canceled.
Hi everyone, my name is Lorelai Creed.
You know, when you look at the conduct that has taken place by Jimmykimmel, it appears to be some of the sickest conduct, but I don't think this is an isolated incident. Representative Swalwell, he had a tweet out last week where he was saying that, emphasizing that Charlie Kirk's killer was a straight white male from a Republican family that voted for Donald Trump. In some quarters, there's a very concerted effort to try to lie to the American people about the nature, appears to be an action by Jimmykimmel, to play into that narrative that this was somehow a MAGA or Republican motivated person.
I read someplace that the networks were 97% against me. I got 97% negative, and yet I won it easily. They give me only bad publicity. I would think maybe their license should be taken away. I thought it would be up to Brendan Carr. When you think about this, 97% of the stories are positive, and yet I win easily the election. It's pretty amazing when you think of it. And that shows they have no credibility. Use that same logic with news. If some of the old days, I remember the old days, and every 4 or 5 years, a network would reapply for its license, and the license is free. You know, they get this valuable thing free, and they reapply for a license. I don't hear about that. The only one that I've heard even bring it up is Brendan Carr. I think Brendan Carr is doing a great job, and I think he's a great patriot.
5 come from? It came from there. Mr. President. You tell me.
Mr. President.
Who would you like to see replace Kimmel on late night?
A lot of people, anybody could replace. The guy had no talent. Kimmel had, look, he was fired. He had no talent. It was a whack job, but he had no talent. A lot of people have no talent to get ratings, but he had no ratings. His ratings were worse than Colbert, I think. They got rid of Colbert, which was a good thing to do. And that's something that should be talked about for licensing, too.
It's kind of scary. We've always had pretty much freedom of speech here.
And it seems like that's kind of going away. And I know it's a public venue, but it still seems like he should have been able to say even a little bit that he said.
I do worry a little bit about it. It seemed like maybe the first time with Stephen Colbert that it was maybe an anomaly or a one-off, but now it sure seems like this is the start of a pattern.
I think it's kind of stupid. People have the right to speak what they would like to speak. It is not fair for people to be silent.
Really? If you have any concerns with ABC suspending him, and if you think it's about FCC interference here.
And I have no problem with it. Quite honestly, a liberal is when they think they're smarter than everybody else and they say any dang thing they want because they're so brilliant and everyone ought to listen and they just get what he deserves. If that's what scares off ABC, maybe they need a little bit of a scare.
Essentially saying that any media actor that doesn't say what Trump wants them to say about Charlie Kirk or Trump's policies is going to be silenced. That's censorship.
Repulsive that the Trump administration is perversely using this awful death as a predicate to supercharge their long-standing campaign against political opponents. How low can they go?
I don't necessarily feel like I'm defending democracy, but I do feel like I'm giving this guy a little poke, and he deserves it, and I enjoy it.
It takes more courage now more than ever.
I don't know if it's courage. It's a little more complicated than it used to be.
Speech for all.
Trump must go now! Trump must go now!
Jimmykimmel's firing is part of a bigger plan to really turn this into a fascist country.
And not just the general public. Those rich, white, famous men like Colbert and Kimmel who have a gigantic platform and still are being deplatformed.
It's fascist suppression of speech. This is a dictator move. This is a fascist takeover of America.
All censorship, a threat of government power. That is a hallmark of fascist regimes around the world.